Have you ever wondered what happened to the most iconic trucks that history forgot? From long-hood giants to cabovers ahead of their time, these vehicles defined an era and then vanished due to changing regulations, markets, and technologies. In this video, we'll take a trip through 20 legends on wheels, explore their history, power, and why they still have a special place in the hearts of true truckers. First truck, GMC Astro 95. The first on the list is the GMC Astro 95, General Motors' answer to the cabover craze. And what a machine it was. It wasn't just a pretty face. This truck had the guts to back up its looks. It featured a roomy cab, excellent visibility, and could be equipped with Detroit diesel engines that were strong enough to rip a house off its foundation. The ride was smooth as butter, and its tight turning radius made it perfect for city work. But then came the fatal blow. In 1982, length regulations changed, allowing for longer combinations. That shift practically killed the cabover market. Truckers started favoring long-nose conventionals, and GM couldn't justify continuing production of the Astro. The funny thing is, these trucks were built like tanks. Even today, more than 3 decades later, you might still see an Astro 95 rolling down the highway, while some much newer models are already rusting away in junkyards. Second truck, International Transtar 2. The International Transtar 2 was a truck ahead of its time. Its tilt cab made maintenance easier than a Sunday morning. Its aerodynamic lines actually worked, offering better fuel economy than the squared-off, brick-like competition. Inside, it was pure luxury for its era. Spacious, comfortable, and full of little touches that made it feel like more than just a work vehicle. So why was it cancelled? Simple. It was too different. Truckers back then were conservative, and that futuristic style scared them off. On top of that, International was dealing with quality control issues. Mechanical failures were more common than any driver was willing to put up with. The irony? Today, almost every modern truck has the same design as the Transtar 2. International was just 20 years too early. Third truck, Mack Superliner. Now we're talking about a truck for real truckers. The Mack Superliner. This beast was built for one purpose, hauling heavy loads across America's toughest routes, and it delivered. It wasn't a show truck, it was all business, with a massive hood that could fit Mack's most powerful engines, including the legendary E9 V8, a beast that could shake the ground. It made hearts race and ears ring. The cab was roomy, the ride solid, and the build quality lived up to Mack's reputation. Built to last 1,000,000 miles without breaking a sweat. But times changed. Emissions regulations doomed those massive engines, and fuel efficiency became more important than brute force. Mack tried to adapt, but it was a losing battle. Today, a clean Superliner with an E9 can cost more than some brand new trucks. That tells you everything you need to know about the respect it still commands. Fourth truck, White Road Boss. The White Road Boss promised everything, and for a moment, it looked like it might deliver. White Motor Corporation wanted to compete with the big players and pinned its hopes on this model. The design was aggressive, the cab comfortable, and the engine options were top-notch. Cummins, Caterpillar, Detroit, the best of the best. For a brief instant, it seemed like White had a winner. But quality problems ruined everything. This truck spent more time in the shop than on the road. Electrical issues, transmission failures, cooling system defects, you name it. The Road Boss had it. When White went bankrupt in 1980, the Road Boss died with it. The few survivors today are collector's items, more for their rarity than their performance. Fifth truck, Diamond Rio Royale. If any truck ever went beyond mere transportation, it was the Diamond Rio Royale. This wasn't just a truck, it was art on wheels. Diamond Rio built true masterpieces, and the Royale was their crown jewel. With handcrafted details, real wood trim interiors, chrome that could blind you from miles away, and paint jobs that looked like rolling murals, every Royale was practically unique. But it wasn't all about beauty. You could equip it with powerful engines capable of hauling mountains, and its ride quality was unmatched. The issue was cost. All that craftsmanship came at a price, too high for most fleet buyers. Diamond Rio was building Rolls-Royces in a Chevrolet market. When the company shut down in 1975, the trucking world lost something irreplaceable. Today, a restored Royale can cost more than the average house. Sixth truck, autocar, A64B. For nearly 4 decades, the autocar A64B was the workhorse of heavy-duty jobs. This was a tough truck, designed with no frills but all the strength and durability a laborer could ask for. It was hugely popular in construction, logging, and heavy transport. It wasn't a beauty queen, but it earned every award in endurance. Its cabover design provided excellent visibility on job sites, and its short wheelbase made it agile in tight spaces. You could put the most powerful engines available into it, and it took the punishment. But the industry changed. Long-haul trucking started to dominate, and drivers started prioritizing comfort over pure functionality. The A64B became a dinosaur. Autocar tried to modernize it, but it was too late. It died along with the old-school driving style it represented. Seventh truck, Brockway Husky. The Brockway Husky, built in Cortland, New York, was a truck built by truckers for truckers. Brockway specialized in heavy-duty applications, and the Husky was their flagship. Logging, construction, extreme load hauling if the job was tough, the Husky got the call. Its build quality was exceptional and its durability legendary. The cab design offered great visibility and comfort, with controls logically laid out to make the driver's life easier. But Brockway was a small company in an industry dominated by giants. It couldn't compete with the marketing power and dealership networks of the big players. When Mack bought Brockway in 1956, its fate was sealed. The Husky limped along until 1977, but in reality, it had died long before. Eighth truck, Hendrickson. Hendrickson wasn't just a truck manufacturer, it was a true innovator that changed the way heavy-duty transport was understood in the United States. Their vehicles were built for the toughest jobs: logging, mining, construction. The company specialized in building custom trucks. If there was a task that would destroy a regular truck, Hendrickson would design something that could handle it. One of their greatest contributions was their revolutionary suspension systems, offering a surprisingly smooth ride even under massive loads. The build quality was exceptional, and the attention to detail reflected a standard few could match. However, the market began to change. Standardization became king, and fleet buyers wanted vehicles with parts they could find anywhere. That custom-built approach, once Hendrickson's biggest strength, became a weakness. Despite efforts to adapt, the battle was lost. Finally, in 1982, Hendrickson stopped building trucks. With that, the industry lost one of its most innovative companies. Ninth truck, Oshkosh. Talking about Oshkosh means talking about trucks designed for extreme conditions. These weren't typical highway vehicles, but beasts built for military missions, firefighting, and snow removal. Their all-wheel drive systems were legendary. While others got stuck, an Oshkosh just kept moving like it was nothing. The build quality was military-grade, designed to operate where other machines would simply give up. Firefighters, military units, and municipal fleets trusted them blindly. Their reliability was unmatched, and their capability extraordinary. But the commercial market was different. Fleet buyers wanted standardization, not specialization. What made Oshkosh unique in extreme jobs became a roadblock in the general market. Eventually, the company made the smart choice: focus on what they did best. They left the commercial truck sector behind, leaving a hole in the American trucking industry, but securing their future in specialized markets. 10th truck, Corbett. Corbett was a North Carolina company that spent over half a century building trucks, Southern style, tough, dependable, and built to last. They focused on medium and heavy-duty trucks for regional applications. Their construction quality was outstanding, which earned them a loyal following among Southern truckers who valued honest, straightforward engineering. Corbett trucks were known for their durability and ease of maintenance. They weren't luxurious, but they were workhorses that kept America's freight moving. The problem was scale. As the transport industry consolidated, smaller manufacturers couldn't compete. Corbett tried to expand beyond their regional base, but didn't have the resources. When the company closed in 1958, another independent voice in trucking was silenced. 11th truck, Reo Trucks. Reo Motor Truck Company built some of the most respected vehicles in American history. From their early days to their eventual merger with Diamond T, the name Reo meant quality and innovation. One of their most popular models was the Gold Comet series, especially loved by owner-operators looking for something special. These trucks struck a rare balance between performance and style. Reo pioneered many features that later became industry standards, and their build quality was always top tier. They built trucks to last decades. But market consolidation was ruthless. Independent manufacturers were crushed by rivals with deeper pockets and wider dealer networks. The merger with Diamond T created Diamond Reo, but it was really the beginning of a slow decline. In 1975, yet another American truck manufacturer disappeared for good. 12th truck, Studebaker. Studebaker trucks carried the same attention to detail that made their cars famous. For over 60 years, the name stood for reliability and innovation in American transport. While they weren't always the biggest or most powerful, they were dependable, well-designed, and stylish, something that set them apart in an increasingly uniform market. The problem was that Studebaker was fighting too many battles at once. Their car business was struggling, and their truck division couldn't carry the whole company. Finally, in 1964, they stopped making trucks. With their exit, the sector lost another independent force. 13th truck, International Harvester S-Series. The S-Series from International Harvester was supposed to rescue the company's truck division. It offered a modern design, better aerodynamics, and improved fuel economy. On paper, it had everything. The cab was entirely new, more comfortable and aerodynamic than anything the brand had ever built. Visibility was excellent, and the interior was a massive leap from previous models. You could also spec it with top engines, Cummins, Caterpillar, or Detroit. Handling was better, the ride smoother, and in theory, it was ready to conquer the market. But the company was in deep financial trouble. Production quality slipped, and many dealerships closed. Not even a good truck could save a sinking company. When Navistar emerged from International's bankruptcy, the S-Series was one of the casualties. 14th truck, Ford Louisville. The Ford Louisville was built for real heavy-duty work. It wasn't pretty, but it was tough as nails, designed to take on the hardest jobs in America. It was Ford's flagship in the heavy-duty lineup, and it delivered. The cab was spacious and comfortable, visibility excellent, and the power options were strong enough to pull mountains. That's why it became so popular in construction, logging, and extreme hauling. But even heavy-duty buyers started wanting more than brute strength, they wanted style too. The Louisville's utilitarian design began to look old-fashioned compared to the competition. Ford tried to update it but couldn't keep up. Finally, in 1998, the Louisville was discontinued, taking with it one of the most capable workhorses in transport history. 15th truck, Chevrolet Titan. The Chevrolet Titan was General Motors' attempt to enter the heavy-duty truck market in force. For 12 years, it stood toe-to-toe with the best and carved out its own place. Its cab was distinctive, both functional and attractive. It offered excellent visibility and comfort for long hauls, because if GM knew anything, it was how to design a cab. The Titan could be equipped with the most popular engines of the time, Detroit Diesel, Cummins, and Caterpillar. The chassis was rugged and capable of handling all that power. But GM was never truly committed to the heavy-duty sector. It was, at heart, a car company that built trucks on the side. When things got tough, the Titan was declared expendable. Its cancellation in 1980 marked GM's exit from the heavy-duty truck segment. The company kept building medium-duty models but left the big leagues to Peterbilt and Kenworth. 16th truck, White Freightliner WFT. Before Freightliner became an independent brand, it was part of White Motor Corporation. The WFT series represented the best engineering of its era. These trucks were designed for long-haul transport, with comfortable cabs and reliable powertrains. The build quality was excellent, and the level of detail is hard to find today. The WFT series was especially popular among owner-operators who wanted something special, a truck that represented pride and professionalism. These were not fleet models, they were personal statements about what it meant to be a trucker. However, White was in serious financial trouble. The company was trying to do too much with too few resources, which hurt quality. When Freightliner became independent in 1981, the WFT designation disappeared along with Old White. 17th truck, Mack B Series. The Mack B Series literally helped build the U.S. interstate highway system. These were tough, reliable trucks built to work. The hallmark of the B Series was Mack's legendary construction quality. These vehicles were designed to withstand extreme conditions and never quit. The cab was simple and functional, and their powertrains seemed indestructible. Construction companies loved them because they could endure abuse that destroyed other trucks. With a short wheelbase, they were easy to maneuver on job sites, and their durability meant they kept going long after others had failed. But the industry changed. Long-haul trucking started demanding comfort as well as durability, and the B-Series began to look outdated. Mack tried to modernize it, but the market had already moved on. In 1966, production ended. The B-Series had fulfilled its mission. It helped build America. 18th truck, International Lodestar. For years, the International Lodestar was everywhere. You saw it as a delivery truck, a utility vehicle, a school bus, even a fire truck. The key was its simplicity. Tough enough for any job, yet easy enough for any mechanic to repair. The cab was comfortable and functional, with excellent visibility and well-organized controls. It was designed by people who understood real work, but emissions and safety regulations made things complicated. The simplicity that had been the Lodestar's strength became its weakness in this new regulatory environment. In 1979, International decided to discontinue it. With that, the U.S. lost one of its most versatile trucks. Nothing has truly replaced it since. 19th truck, Peterbilt 281. The Peterbilt 281 is considered royalty in the trucking world. It wasn't just a truck, it was an icon. Every trucker dreamed of owning one. With Peterbilt's legendary build quality, each unit was practically handmade. The fit and finish far surpassed those of other manufacturers. This wasn't mass production, it was true craftsmanship. Its design was timeless. A long hood, an unmistakable grille, and perfect proportions. The 281 was what everyone imagined when they thought of the perfect truck. But emissions, regulations, and market changes forced modernization. Its classic design couldn't meet the new requirements, and in 1976, production stopped. Today, a well-preserved 281 can cost more than many brand-new trucks. That's how much respect it still commands. 20th truck, Kenworth W900A. We finish with what many consider the king of discontinued trucks, the Kenworth W900A. For long-haul truckers, it was the dream come true. This model wasn't just transportation, it was a way of life. It had a long hood, a spacious cab, and a presence that demanded respect on every American highway. Kenworth built it without compromise. The ride quality was outstanding, the durability legendary, and each unit could be customized to its owner's tastes. No two W900 trucks were alike, each one was unique, just like its operator. The design was perfect. Aggressive enough to look powerful, yet elegant enough to be beautiful. It visually expressed strength, and driving it confirmed it. Equipped with engines like the Caterpillar 3000, 406E or the Cummins N14, it was built to last forever. But new emissions regulations sealed its fate. That long hood couldn't house all the necessary equipment, and Kenworth had to redesign it. The model that replaced it, the W900L, never had the same soul. When the last W900A rolled off the line in 2007, the trucking world lost its most iconic machine. The new model exists, yes, but drivers know the spirit is gone. If these forgotten trucks took you back in time and helped you feel the power of history rolling on wheels, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Join us on the next ride, because there's always another giant from the past waiting to roar back to life on the open road.